Hello from Brussels, from NATO headquarters. It is my pleasure and honor to address this very important conference. First, I would like to thank the University of Bucharest for being the convener of such a massive network of universities from the Black Sea and the Balkan region. A tradition that continues, a tradition that is today more relevant than ever. We are living at an inflection point in history. The Russian war against Ukraine, the implications of this war on European and international systems of order are still to be evaluated. But do know one thing, that in Europe things would not be the same like for the last decades. This is why here in NATO we look at the Black Sea and the Balkan region as regions of strategic relevance to our security and also to the future of the new European architecture in the making. You represent the intellectual infrastructure of these two very important critical regions for today and for tomorrow. You represent the intellectual elite of regions that have in many ways been punished by geography and many times victims of history. Now perhaps the time has come for our region to play its real role of co-contributors and co-authors of a new European and international system in the making. Of course, we know that sometimes only intellectual networks do not suffice. You need physical infrastructures. You need political preconditions. But I would say, as someone who has been watching our region and the world and Europe for many long years, that this is an opportunity that should not be missed. The reconstruction of Ukraine, the support for Ukraine in this brave war against Russia, will continue. I applaud what NATO allies, European Union, and many of your nations represented in Bucharest today and tomorrow are doing, because Ukraine's brave fight is also a fight for us. I know that not only in military terms we'll continue to support Ukraine, but we'll support Ukraine's European aspirations, we'll support the Republic of Moldova's aspirations, the Republic of Georgia aspirations, and something tells me that the full integration of the Western Balkans and the Black Sea region into Europe and into our family of democracies will continue. I mentioned reconstruction of Ukraine. And of course we are thinking, as the conference represents, a east-west connection between the Black Sea and the Adriatic Sea. I would like you to add also a third sea, which becomes more relevant as we speak, which is the Caspian Sea. I'm encouraged by the recent discussions held in Prague at the first meeting of the political community of Europe. And I see and we see and we encourage signs of perhaps a better future when it comes to the Caucasus and of course to the connections that our part of Europe will need to make through the Caucasus towards Central Asia and Eurasia as a whole. The accession of Finland and Sweden that we hope will be swift into NATO is also adding a north-south dimension to our region. It's not only the Black Sea and the Adriatic Sea or eventually the Caspian Sea, but it's also the Mediterranean Sea, the Black Sea, the Baltic Sea, and through our Nordic new dimension, the North Sea. I see a revival of a corridor which is both east-west and north-south, and I'm encouraging you as intellectual leaders of our region to lead the way in making sure that we make a credible case for investment in the indispensable infrastructures that we need to develop our nations. And perhaps the fact that the Black Sea becomes such a vortex of instability with the atrocious actions by Russia will also be an indication that we have to use, for the time being, other roads through land, through air, and also to invent other means to keep us together. One final word, because that's something I know you'll be addressing during this very, very dense set of conversations in Bucharest. The definition of security is moving way beyond deterrence and defense. Of course, deterrence and defense, that's something we do, something that NATO will continue to do with our allies and also with our partners. But also there is a broader definition of security that I think we can play and we should play a role as a region. Resilience is becoming to the forefront. Cyber is becoming a vertical and horizontal piece of indispensable work. Space is becoming an area where cooperation and applications are becoming more useful and more interesting by the day. So I'm encouraging you and the universities you represent and your students and the leadership of our region to be prepared also for the future, to be able not only to imitate, but to innovate, not only to wait for decisions taken somewhere else, but also to be co-designers and co-authors of our own destiny. That's my message from me to you. I respect this organization. I believe you're the linchpin of a better future for our people, for our region, and for Europe as a whole. Best of luck, and keep me posted on the results of this great conference.